Hello guys, this is Rohan. In the last tutorial we have made the basic hello world tutorial. Now today we will be editing this by adding some elements into the layout. So let's just open the main.xml. Now this is the .xml file and this is the graphical layout. Both are one and same. So you can edit one of those. So graphical layout is the simple one, so we will be using this. This is the screen size of your mobile, whether it is landscape or portrait, the app. There are various themes which you can add. Theme. Now here is the outline and the properties. Outline is basically the linear layout which is having the vertical orientation, so all the elements we add will be having an vertical orientation, will be added vertically. It is having a text view, so it is selected over here which says hello world basic activity. Now we'll be adding some text fields into it. Let's just add a layout, horizontal layout, drag into it, so it will show it over here. Now let's just add some buttons and checkbox. You can add anything you want. So now let's just add a text field which is an edit box. So now it is coming out of that horizontal layout. You can just minimize that linear layout one which is in horizontal. Now this linear layout, the text view, this linear layout is the main, the text view, the linear layout one and the edit text are vertically oriented. Now you can also add an text view. Here it is. Now you can see that it is not looking pretty, so you just have to play with these properties to make it feel good. So now let's just play with this. This is the hello world, this is the text view. Firstly, this is the linear layout which is the whole screen. Now you can just change its properties from here. Now when you select this linear layout, you can see it over here, it is selected. Now you can add a background to it. Now let's just create an wallpaper in Paint. You can do anything you want. Put some colors, some lines, anything. Basically you can download wallpapers from net if you want. Color it yellow. Okay, don't forget to crop it. Just select it and crop, and now save it. Now where to save? Save it as any name. You should save in the folder which I had told you in the last tutorial, which was the MDPI, HDPI and LDPI folders of Drawable. Here you can see it in the desktop, workspace basics, resources. I'll put it in MDPI because I don't know its pixel resolution. I've saved it. Now when you go back to your program, just right click on the basics and refresh it so that you can view those. Now here it is, wallpaper.png. Now when you click on the linear layout, you have the background and you can select it simply from the drawable wallpaper. Click OK. Now here it is. Now you can see that as the image was of smaller dimension, the space down is black. Now what you can play with is just select the text view. Here it will display the small text. Now just go down in the image. Then you can adjust the layout height, layout width, its weight, its margin, its gravity and all those. Here you can see that layout width is filled parent, that will take over the space from left to right. If you just select wrap content, then the contents will be wrapped. See, the layout will be wrapping the contents. Now weight is something from 0 to 1. If we set it as 1, then you can see that the text view and other elements are having the same weights, hence half of the screen is text view and other elements are half of the screen. So let's just not set it now. Now let it be fill parent width. Next thing you can do is the text. Now text you can directly write as basics, and if you say enter, you can see that it has changed to basics, but it is not good way of doing it. Instead, just click on this. You can add a new string. The string will be saying basics And now this is the new r.string is the thing which will be stored in the values strings.xml. So let's just write as title and click OK. Now here it is, click OK. See how it is looking. @string title in values strings.xml. It has created a new name title which says basics, and here you can give this basics. Now you can play with the size of the text, the style. Now the size you can set in dps, px. Now we all know that px is pixels, but we have various kinds of screens, so the pixel density is not the same. So let's just not write it in pixels, we'll write in dps. Now see, it has become big. Now the style can be bold, italics, anything. If we set it as bold, then it will be bold. Now you have seen that it is coming on the left side, so you can just set it the gravity to be center. If we select center, then the layout gravity will be center, but the text view, the layout gravity will be centered. There is another thing called as gravity, which will set the text gravity to be centered. So it is center, then it will set the basics to the center. Now also you can have various colors on it, so it will be text color. You can define it as hash anything, 3-digit numbers. Here it is black. You can go to the website on Google, you can search as hash 333, and the first site which opens is website colored. You can have various colors on it. You can choose anyone if you want, any of those you want. So the button, the checkbox. Now this is basically the title, so we don't have to change it. The button has text over it. Now let's play with the button. Here's the button. Now let's set its weight as 1. So you can see that also set the checkbox weight to be 1. So you can see that they are both sharing 50-50% of the width. Now coming on the button, both will be wrap content. If you set one of them to be fill parent, then it will occupy the whole width. So let's just set it to be wrap content. Now all you can do is text color, text, and all those things again, but I will be telling you about the padding. Now padding is something, the area surrounded by the button. If you set it as 30 dps, then look at the padding about the text. So we don't need it now. You can also set the ID. Now ID is something which will be requiring in the Java project to recognize that this is the button which is to be clicked. So let's just put an ID to be button update and just click OK. Now the text can be the same thing again, new string update, and it will be update button. So just click OK, and it will show @string update, and similarly it will show in the strings of XML. Now you have to put ID to these things because you have to use them in your program. The title we don't have to use because it is never going to be changed. The button is to be clicked, and hence we need its ID. The checkbox, the same thing we can do. You can add an ID to it, let it be checkbox 1 for now. Same things you can do all for that. Let's change the checkbox string to show edit view. This is check. Click OK, and you will get it show edit view as an text to that checkbox. Now you also have an edit text over here in which you will be giving your inputs. Now it is showing over here decimal numbers as an input because we had selected ABC from here as an element. Now this also requires an ID because we are going to take the text from this edit box and put it over in the text view when the update button is clicked. Also this edit box is to be shown, or it is visible only when show edit view is checked. So we require an ID for the edit box, also for this check button and button. So we are giving it as ID as edit text 1. Now here is something visibility. Now visibility can be set to invisible. If I click enter, then it's invisible. It will be only visible when I check this show edit view, which programming I will be doing in the Java file. So now let it be invisible. Update button will be basically showing the value which are giving input in the edit box onto the text view. So this is the text view. Now the text view is looking pretty small, so the ID is text view 1. Let's change its layout width to be fill parent, and also to occupy some height, let's give some weight to it. I'll be giving weight 1 so that it occupies the same space as the above elements. Now it's looking pretty good. The down part of the screen is not used because it's pretty big screen. Now let's turn to the Java programming. While going to Java programming, you should know the IDs of each element you are going to use. So when you go to the basic activity.java, it appears like this. Now you will be having these buttons and all over here. You will be defining it. Over here button, and you name anything such as update. Now it's showing an error because we have not imported the button over here. So it's very easy to import the button. Just go on the button and import button. Now you can see it over here that it has imported the button. Similarly, you can add other checkbox, text view and list views, etc. Now I have added the button, checkbox, edit text and text view. The naming can be given anything as you want. The ID should be same as that of given in the main.xml, as the edit text is having edit text 1. Now just define the update button, the CB, ET and TV by giving them their IDs. So basically we will write update dot update equal to now what is update? Update is on button, so write button. You can press Control and spacebar for auto completion. Now we want to relate this update button to its ID, so we'll give find view by ID, control space, so it will directly give that control view find view by ID. Now what is the ID is r dot id dot. Now update button was having some ID, so just click on the button update and its ID is button update, so we'll write it over here. If you press control space, it will give the auto completion as button update. Similarly we'll be doing for rest of all. So I have added some of those. This is the last one. It is in text view, find view by ID, r dot id dot. So you can see that we don't have to type much because of the auto completion. As in text view, and we have given it as text view 1. So this has basically related our layout to the main Java program. Now let's write some code. Now what we have to do is make this edit box visible over here by checking this show edit view. So we'll write it by its ID, that was CB checkbox. So we'll write if in brackets CB dot, if you press control space it will give some options, is checked. We have to check whether it is checked or not. So it's the first option. So put curly braces and write what we have to do. Just we have to set the visibility of the edit text ET. So it will be ET dot set visibility. See, here it is set visibility. we cannot directly write over here visible. So we have to tell first that what it is. Now it is the edit text. So edit text dot visible, and put an semicolon, else, put an else, in else don't write anything. So this will just complete our, or we can write that set visibility as invisible. I'm just copying this and just replace this visible by invisible. Invisible. The next thing we have to do is we have to take some input from the user into the edit text. Now this edit text box is visible. Now we have to take the input, so we have to define one string for that, in which we will be taking the input. So I will just define a string str, and I will be using it down over here. The str will be equal to, now there are some functions to take the input into the string. So the edit text is et dot get text dot to string. So as it is specified, or get text will get the text from the edit text and it will transfer it to string str. So whatever it is written in the edit text, we will get it in string str. Now what we have to do is, when the button update is pressed, we have to copy the contents of the edit text that we are already having in the string str and set the content of this text view as the same. So in the basic activity, we have to set an on click listener for the button. So it will be button update dot set on click listener. We have various options: set on click listener, set on create context menu listener. They are basically defined for others, such as checkbox and all, toggle button. So we have on touch listener, you can use all of them. Set on click listener, saying new on click listener, new view dot on click listener, it will be view dot and see the method is down over here immediately after the set on click listener. Now you have to put an semicolon after the method. Same thing we'll do, tv dot set text and str. Now this is the whole program. So I'll just save it and we'll run it as an Android application. Now this AVD is running and it's booting actually. When this AVD will boot, automatically our application will run. Console will tell you about, see it's saying starting activity. It has already installed the basics.apk. Here it is. Here is our basic program. Now our app has loaded, but as you can see, if I am checking this, it's not showing me edit box. This is because we haven't set an on click listener for this checkbox. So let's just quickly set an on click listener for checkbox, same as that of the button update. So it will be cb dot set on click listener. Here you can also write set on change listener, which will check if the state is changed. It will be new view dot click listener, which will add a method, and we'll just copy all these things into the method and put an semicolon after the on-click listener. Just save it. Also, we are having this button on-click listener. The string str will be updated only when the button update is pressed. So we need to cut and paste it over here. So basically, when update button will be pressed, the contents of the edit text et will be transferred to string str, and the text views text will be set to str. Now we'll be running this program. Run as an Android application. It will launch new emulator. It will take some time. Here's our app. When we check this show edit view, it will show an edit text box in which we will write something. First we have to click on that. It will open on keyboard. I will be writing update. Press enter, so it will show update. Now here you can see that it is written text view, because that default text views text was text view. Now you have to update, and when I click on the update, look, this has changed to update. So this was pretty basic. Next time, in the next tutorial, we'll be learning about the flash activity.